Are you sure?
Live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to, last time you accused me of radio voice. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. We have a lot of excitement going on. We had a busy weekend. A lot of stuff going on, challenges, and we pushed through them. Hey, everybody. Okay, I'm going to put my glasses on. I saw Tiger 4x454 Skeins. Hey, girls. Nice to see you. Randy. Who's that?
Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Get down.
Hey, Randy Pitts. Fighting dogs right now. Skeins came to visit. Hey, Lynn. Skeins came to visit, and now we have table problems.
Table problems.
Mm-hmm.
What table problems?
Begging at the table,
Oh, yeah.
jumping on people, that kind of thing. She swears she didn't do it. Hey, Joseph G. Yeah, I think the dogs were taking advantage. I think that's what was going on.
Unless you parrot.
Hey.
Just a G.
A lot of people. Yeah, nice.
Make sure to hit that get up in live chat if you're on YouTube and hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you like this type of content.
Yep.
Well, Skeen says she didn't do it.
Yeah, she said she didn't do it. I don't know. My back was turned. Not sure. We'll see. I think, like I said, I think they were just taking advantage. I think they were pushing the limits.
Jonathan was here too.
Yeah, I don't know what Jonathan was doing. He's more of a cat person than a dog person.
Hey, Redneck.
But you never know.
So why don't you tell them what happened this week? What you did this weekend? Or week?
This week?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, the weekend or the weekend. Thursday, Friday, and
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah. We had Midwest Preparedness Festival, so went out and did that. I cooked for Midwest Preparedness Festival, and then, of course, we had the vendor booth. And that was really interesting. We can definitely see that, of course, we did have another food truck there. And so that made it a little hard. I really felt bad for the guy.
Did you?
So, yeah. So I just did not even cook on Friday. I just did. No, I did cook on. Did I cook on Thursday? I did not cook on Thursday. And no, I'm sorry. I did not cook on Friday. And so I said, you go ahead, have
Yeah,
at
you
it.
did. I was there Friday, and I saw you cooking.
Maybe dinner or something like that. Yeah. But, I'm trying to figure out which day. And I told him, I said, you have, Thursday, because I said, you have it on the 9th, whatever the 9th was. So I said, you have at it and just go ahead and do it. Make some extra money if you can. But, yeah, even with that number, the way the economy is, it's hard to have two food people there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different, when, like Chef Brett and I, we just take.
Who's Chef Brett?
Chef Brett is the amazing chef over at Self-Reliance Festival. And we always get together and we plan out menus, try to compliment each other and do that kind of thing. And it works out really well. So, but we also noticed with the two of us cooking last event that, the money's tight for everybody. It's just tight. So
well, what happened? What happened earlier in the week? You said
earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Skeins and Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody knew that on Tuesday.
What'd they do?
Oh man, we tore out drywall. We cooked. I learned how to make bobcat. Hopefully he'll jump in here. Go see it like a New Yorker. Bobcat. So we made babka. Oh my gosh, that was great. I had to take cinnamon rolls to Co-op because they bagged some food for me on the day that I asked, right there when I asked, which is unheard of. And so they did it.
You got some feedback today? Yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah. I was going in to get a few supplies, and one of the guys saw me, and he actually waited in his truck. He saw me pull in, and he waited in his truck until I got out. And then when I got out, he gets the window down and he goes, "Hey," and it's raining, so we're trying to figure out not rain, but misting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hey, ACO. And so he actually called me over and he told me flat out, he said, "You ought to be proud of those cinnamon rolls." He said those were good, the best he had had. So I was excited about that. I hear that a lot. So, but that's why I sell them.
Prideful much? That sounds a little
me?
prideful, yeah.
No, he told me I should be proud of them, but I mean, I don't feel that way.
You feel thankful that you like them?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I sell them, and that's why I sell so many. So, I got it. So, oops recipe turned into a really good recipe.
Yep.
This is why you experiment and you just play in the kitchen. I always
Skanks
say,
took some home, didn't she?
no, she took one home. She ate the other one here. All those disappeared at camp. So
Well, and you ended up giving the extra ones to the potluck.
potluck, yeah. Well, I did keep I think 2.5 dozen aside for like Hacks took some and some other people. So
tell them about camp. Thursday,
we went out Wednesday night and set up, and then we ended up camping. Thursday was good, and so Thursday we just kind of relaxed and that kind of thing. Um, and then got finished setting up kitchen and all that, which I didn't have to do a lot. And I'm just gonna give credit where credit is due. Oh my gosh, Hacks! I'm telling you, like I'm literally. He knew I was hurting, but I'm trying to get through it. I'm like, dude, I'm coming in, I'm working, I'm doing all this. I was leaving for Sam's Club, and he had my entire kitchen set up. And he knew the flow. He knew the flow of how I do it because he works with me in the kitchen a lot. And he had it all done. It's like, holy crap. It was minimal when I got in there what I had to do.
It's because he's helped you several times.
Right. Yep.
That's how Hacks goes to Self Reliance Festival, and
He's
past 2 or 3 times, not years.
Yeah.
But he rides with us, and he helps with the kitchen. And I did not help because I had to work.
Yeah, and then
I had to work, and then
Saturday
well,
was a good morning.
Keep telling about camp.
Well, no.
How was Friday?
Friday was good. So we had the classes, did all that, and of course I missed that. And several people came up and they were like, "You're not at the class." I'm cooking. I got to make sure food is at temperature, nobody gets sick, that kind of thing. So I really don't have the opportunity to go over. And in fact, on Saturday when I got called over to Tags Live, it was nice. I didn't even know Darren was going to do it. I was like, "Oh, what am I going to do?" And Darren took over the kitchen so that I could go do that. So I didn't even have to ask. He just automatically did it. So I'm sure they all knew what was going on.
So
I just didn't.
What was your impression of the first couple of days at camp?
They're pretty good.
Like,
Everybody was friendly. Everybody, it was like family. We had Tina and her husband came down from Nebraska, and they were hanging out, and it was really funny. We were sitting around the campfire, and all the night owls were out there, and the only voice that Spags, because I'm around him all the time, the only voice he could recognize was mine, and Chief, the only voice they could recognize is mine. But Tina has a belly laugh like I do, which is so cute. I love.
Does she snort?
No, she doesn't. I love a belly laugh because that's how you know that somebody like is really laughing and having a good time. But apparently at 12:30 at night, it doesn't go over well. So
okay,
anyway.
The people in the chat, ACM, Skanes, anybody else that was at camp out, what were your impressions when you were there? I'll say this.
There were a lot of people. We had 406,
so
I think was the count.
I drove out Thursday night. We did a men's Bible study. There were 5 of us.
That went well.
And then I went back out.
Christy, I was going to tell you because you didn't get a chance to see. Christy did it must have been couples or just blended Bible study. She did that every morning.
Did she?
And there was tables full. Good job. Yeah.
You know, and then I got out there late Friday, and there were as many people there on Friday as there normally were on Saturdays. You know, so that was a good good turnout.
Yeah, Tiger, we'll be there in the fall. Yeah, plan on fall. Yeah, we'll be there.
And if you guys, who went to classes, who in chat went to classes? What did you guys think of the classes? I thought the lineup of speakers were really good.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I always get the privilege. I love it. I get the privilege of feeding all the speakers. And it was super funny because I told Tag, because I didn't pay attention to XYZ and what was going on. And so I told Tag, I said, make sure they know that I have to put them on your tab. And so he said, okay, I'll do that. They didn't all know. So there were some coming in, and now I know if Australia comes in again, I've got to have carnivore, which I did. It just wasn't hot, and so we have some speakers, not all, but some.
Zach's.
No, what does that say? I can't see.
Put your eyeballs
Oh,
on.
I know. I will. Hang on. I've been grilling, so yeah. It says I sound like Pee Wee Herman. Oh, yes, I would like that. So, yeah. So it's always good. It's a lot of fun. So, but yeah, I try to make sure that I can contour my kitchen to make sure I take care of the speakers. So, but yeah. So it's all good. But yeah, so Friday went well. And then Friday night's campfire, it was good. Friday night, Saturday night's campfire are always wild. They are. So, but you know, you figure 406, most of those, especially on Saturday, I think, I want to say 80, but I'm not sure it was that high, were walk ins. So,
Now the campground, it's there at Clinton Lake. It's different from the place we used to have it, because the place we used to have it had a road in, and it was a great big circle, and so everybody was around this central area, and it was a little bit different. This time there's several loops in the campsite, so you had like 3 different neighborhoods, if you will, and but they were all full. They were all full. The parking,
dang, they were running out of campsites on Thursday.
Mhm. you know, so it was nice. The Midwest Preparedness Festival has to grow, and it's nice that it's growing. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of lost some of the intimacy.
But we're fixing that for our core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you can get intimacy, but you don't get the same type of intimacy. It's not. It's
You do get to know each other. You get to network and do all that. So that's good. But what we're talking about is that, you know, when you start something and you go in there and you do that, the OGs are kind of like, man, I just like to really sit down with you and talk to you. I miss you and that kind of thing. Because we're all working. We're working hard. We're trying to get the properties and all that stuff together. So we're just going to add another camp. In fact, they're talking about doing that in July. So did you see that
I
text?
talked to
Christy.
Data.
Christy is the one organizing it, so we just got to throw a date out there.
You know,
But not that we don't love you guys, we do. Just sometimes we need to hug on each other and encourage each other too. So.
Tiger, I'm probably not going to make the Missouri get together either.
Yeah.
The root of that's in this weekend. So I went out there Thursday. On the way home, the Jeep started overheating. Actually, I had to stop in Walmart, got some coolant. Thermostat was acting up. So I went up to O'Reilly's, got a new thermostat Friday morning, had Friday off, replaced it. I was out there by noonish, 1 o'clock. Jeep was running fine. Had to come home, take care of the animals. So I spent 6 or 7 hours out there, and then Saturday morning, got up nice and early. I'm on my way down there, and the temperature pegs, the Jeep starts bucking, and I stop, and there's coolant flowing out of the bottom of the engine. There's 2 screws that hold the thermostat housing on. The bottom one somehow got stripped because it did not leak at all Friday, but sometime just going down the highway, it started leaking. And
maybe from the gravel road.
I don't know, but it just blew all the coolant out. So I used road safety. We got roadside assistance thing. They could not find a single tow truck in Topeka that was in their system that would come get it. So I called some other ones, and it's like $100 just for them to hook up. That's not including driving out there and driving me, taking
one bid you got was $700.
Well, no, that was somebody telling me what somebody else does.
Oh, I thought you thought.
So I ended up calling somebody that we know, and he brought his trailer down. Well, he forgot this has nothing to do with the Jeep missing out.
Everybody we talked to said that
but he forgot the controls for his winch, so I had to drive it up on the trailer. And when I got it up on the trailer, there was oil pouring out of the frickin' engine. Got it back here, and I was gonna try to go out there, but I had to wait for somebody to come by and pick me up that was heading out there after work. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, nope, I'm not going out
You
there.
got in your head.
Well, no, it's not. I wasn't in a good mood.
Yeah. So
I wasn't in a good
got
mood,
in
and
your
I
head.
didn't want to go out there. I didn't want to go out there in a good mood, and A, pretend that everything was fine, and B, make people miserable if I decided I wasn't going to fake it.
All of us kind of thought that if you came out, maybe you could relax a little bit
Hey,
and get your mind off the troubles.
I relaxed. I stayed here and I
You
worked.
did relax. He did relax. All the vodka that we had been asking for him to bring to camp that we forgot for 2 days.
I had a carb day. I'm not gonna lie, but I got a bunch of gardening done. I got your.
You did get a lot.
I got your jars. All.
Yeah.
We've got over 500 empty jars.
There's more that have to go up.
I can't find any more empty jars. I got all the empty jars.
I've got some over there.
Those don't count. Those don't count.
You'll be grateful though.
But yeah. So I got a lot. I got laundry done. I got dishes done. It was a productive day. It felt good.
You may be thinking 500 jars over 500 jars, which probably is not an accurate count. And you may be thinking, that's ridiculous. Well, what happens if you lose electricity and you have to clear out 5 freezers? You're going to need them. So
and that doesn't count the 1,000 or so jars with food in it that we need to.
Right. I got to go through and then get that stuff.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck. Sorry, we missed you. I can't believe you didn't
Yeah.
come out. I'm so sorry about your mom. I hope everything is okay there. But we definitely understand. I've been there, done that.
You know, so I did not go to camp, and of course you wanted me to go out there because you wanted me to put everything in the trailer Saturday night. That was the first thing.
I wanted help.
That was the first. You said you had help. That's why.
No,
I didn't have a problem
said
saying
I could.
wasn't going out there.
That's not true. So
drink, everybody drink. Anyway,
I get so tired of you doing that crap. But you know what? Here's the deal. I hate to be a burden on everybody else, and I don't think it's fair. You are my husband, and so you should be there to help me. This is a joint effort. I understand that you think it couldn't be accomplished, but we had a solution. I was going to write back with skeins. We were going to put the tent and all that stuff in Darren's truck, and then you would take the truck and trailer there.
Okay.
It should have been you and me. So
Anyway,
don't.
So Darren came by Saturday or Sunday and looked at it. There's a hole in the side of the head gasket cover, or head valve covers. So it's going to be a rebuild on the engine. Something came loose and blew a hole in the side of the cover, and may end up having to buy a new engine for it. We don't know yet. We don't know. So we got the third vehicle running. We got to get it inspected and entitled, and everything will be good, and we can start having them work on that. Actually, probably start working on it before we get everything titled and done. But so what'd you guys do Sunday?
Packed up. Well, yeah, finished packing up.
And then where'd you take everybody?
Well, not everybody.
Everybody that helped.
No, it was not everybody that helped. But the ones that really gave us a hand and all that, I took them to, it would have been brunch. So we got there about 11:30, and then didn't finish until 1:30. So.
Well, and it's kind of a throwback to the way we used to do things.
No, it would have been a throwback had we did the, where we had one restaurant and then had to split to another restaurant. I just think with 406 people, I think it was difficult.
Well, no, remember back when it was small, we just everybody that.
Yeah, we'd always go to IHOP.
We'd always stop on the way home at IHOP in Lawrence and eat a brunch.
Spags was good. I pulled in and I had Lisa come up to me as soon as I pulled in. She saw me. What can I help you with? And I was like, girl, there's totes in there I can't even handle. There's no damn way you're handling those. You can't get that. And Spags heard that and he said, hang on a minute. I'm going to have guys over here for you. Within 1 minute, they were all at the trailer and unloading the trailer. It was awesome. Yeah, just the amount of group effort and everything that goes in. It was amazing. So it was great.
The good news Saturday night was we had 2 babies born.
Mm-hmm.
2 little baby boys.
From 2 different mamas.
Yeah, and it's really weird. So
they have the same markings.
They've got. So we had. How long ago was it we had Ramses, the black, the one that Francis's baby. How long ago was it?
8 months? No.
8 years?
8? No. Huh? Francis's baby?
No, remember the
Black sheep, right?
right.
That
Remember how
8 months ago is what I'm thinking, but
Well, no,
it may not even be that
No,
long.
that was in Pleasant Hill.
No, he was born here.
No, that's a different.
The black sheep?
That's a different one. No, I'm talking. So anyway, these two babies,
Sure.
they've got these markings on them, and we don't have any rams with brown in them. But
Well, we do.
one of
The
which,
black sheep. The
he
one
doesn't have
Francis
his
had.
babies.
You don't think
No,
so?
he-
I was wondering because he was out there trying to get some.
No, that's not. Doesn't.
Okay.
But those markings come from a ram that we had about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6 years at the most. So it's kind of interesting that recessive gene popped out now from 2 different mamas.
But it's cute. It's almost like they have a saddle, but just on one side, so you're not riding even. But Specs.
What about Specs?
He gave me a dozen fertilized duck eggs.
Did you break them? Or did you put them in the?
They're good. They need to go in the incubator.
We'll get them in the incubator.
Okay, but I'm telling you now, we need the duck pen done.
Oh, we're not getting them back to Spags?
He's getting turkey eggs.
I don't want ducks.
We do want ducks.
I don't
we
want
gotta
ducks
get that
right now.
pond. We gotta get that pond fixed.
Okay, we had ducks at the last place, and I had to. I literally had.
Make duck babies. He says.
I literally had to chase the ducks into the pond, and the only reason they would stay in the water is because every time they tried to come out of the pond, I would stand there and make them stay in there. I'm not doing that with more.
I don't think you have to. I think I know better now. I've got to put a food trail down to the pond, and then if I do that, it takes about 2 weeks to get them trained, and then they'll come back up.
And ducks are stupid, noisy, and messy.
Well, I mean,
they crap all over everything.
Exactly. We want them to crap all over the pond.
Yeah,
they gotta
worse
get
than
it sealed.
chickens.
They got to get the pond
You need
sealed.
hundreds of chickens to seal a pond.
Hundreds of ducks, you mean?
Hundreds of ducks.
Yeah. So, so Milk Lady is trying to give us a bunch of ducks that are already hatched. FYI. You
have to have a mama duck if you want ducks to swim, and if not, use treats.
But doesn't that mama duck have to know how to get to the pond? So maybe we do go to Tracy's and get a mama duck.
See, I'll see what Parrot says. She likes her ducks.
Yeah.
Well, they're fun to watch because they're dumb. Hey, ducks are dumb. I'm sorry.
Well, Macio could bring her ducks here. We've got a special thing coming up, so maybe she could bring her ducks here, and then her ducks could train our baby ducks.
Turkeys are better than both of them. Yeah, they will foul up a water tank, something fierce.
Well, we don't want them in a water tank. We want them in the pond. They've got to get that sealed. So we actually have a pond.
And while she was away, I moved a bunch of roosters into the chicken tractor.
And now Guinea's all upset. Like apparently we put Guinea Keats.
No, I pulled that one out.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So there won't be a problem tonight putting her in.
No, it'll probably be a problem. Well, the turkey for some reason does not let her in the coop.
Oh no, Guinea Keat was like, let my friend out. He's in jail, let him out. Like it's been an issue the last couple nights.
Duck broth makes the best cornbread dressing ever.
I like duck eggs to bake with. Those are amazing.
They're good to eat too.
Yeah. But we're not eating these.
They've got an awesome fat content. Truth. Duck pond water saved a felled tree at our current place. Huh.
Yep. Ducks are great for a pond. So yeah.
We'll see.
I'm putting them in the incubator. They're going in.
I know you're going to do it anyway, whether I want them or not.
Well, you already told me I could because we were trading Spags turkey eggs for duck eggs.
Yeah, I didn't think it was happening this year.
Well, no, it was well over a month ago, and you gave the blessing. So this is on you.
We'll figure out how to get a coop up then. I got other stuff I got to do.
Whatever. Mossy Oak will be here.
Her
and I can do it.
They tore the.
Do you want that down by the pond?
No, because they'll get.
You want it up here?
It has to be up here.
Well, then that one, the others aren't going into, so we'll just put the ducks in there.
We have to split the chicken flock up because there's gonna be too many birds.
We'll
in there.
figure it out. We'll get it.
But they tore the drywall out of that bedroom that I'm rehabbing, and when I was working on it, I knew there was a small tilt to it. I knew there was a small tilt to the room, but I had the level out, and it looked like it was okay, but I was moving stuff around because we needed the storage space. Well, I had to move everything out so they could do the drywall, and when they got everything out, it's bad. Like she said, it's a good across the room. It's a good 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch drop in one corner.
Yeah, but the termite nest that we saw and scoped out,
They're all through
horrible.
They're all through the house.
Well, you didn't tell me that. You kind of hid that from me when you did the
I've
office.
always said that.
We knew we had termite, but I had never seen it, and that was horrible. They're not live.
That's
The
all. It's
swarms
way
are
old.
live. Yeah, the swarms.
And those
are
aren't
live.
termites though. Those are.
Yeah, those are. It's a termite swarm. I
Really?
showed him the things. Yeah, it's what they have in Louisiana, and it's because the woods that we have up here and how many dead trees we got.
No.
We got to get those dead trees out.
Well, I sprayed insect repellent down underneath the.
Well, I got termite spray.
That's what I sprayed.
Oh, okay.
I sprayed it,
All right.
and I got to treat the rest of it.
Yeah, we got to get the rest of the house done. It wasn't nearly as bad this year.
Oh, there are
as
only
it was
2 or
last
3
year.
of them this year.
No, well,
Usually-
I don't know about
usually-
2 or 3, but
Usually we have this problem where they come underneath the house and then they come up through the holes that were in the floor in the bathroom and the dining or the laundry room.
laundry room
And that second bedroom.
second bedroom.
And as I rehabbed the bathroom and I rehabbed that bedroom, I closed everything up. I sprayed probably way too much.
Tiger, yes, for sure. Yes. Inflammation. That's what that is. Yeah.
So now I've got to get, before I can put the drywall on, I need to get underneath the house and I need to jack it up and brace it. But the joists under that part of the house are still in decent condition, so I shouldn't have to replace any right there. Now, in the living room and where the old living room was and where the processing kitchen is, that's a complete tear out.
That's a complete.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge one. Of course,
Because I think we have some plates that need to be replaced. I think some
we
slipped
did.
somewhere.
They
right?
did. They slipped.
Yeah.
Well, what they did, folks. Okay, this is construction stuff. So if you find it boring, just bear with us.
Sorry.
So that building is 20 feet across, right? So you've got a cinder block foundation around it that acts as a lip. When they built that house, it's got a double 2x10 beam that runs all the way 50 feet down that house, down that side of the house, down the middle, and then they've got 20-foot 2x8s that go from wall to wall with no bracing underneath them.
Yeah,
except
it's
for the
gonna
middle.
be fun.
So the sheer weight of everything there has caused everything in the middle to go like this. And then in the living room and the kitchen, they've got termite damage.
But we can do a different grid on that, right? The way it's supposed to be done now.
Well, no,
You don't have to do it the way they had it, because there's no.
No, I'm gonna
load-bearing
use 2x10s instead of 20-footers, and I'm gonna brace, and then I'm gonna
We
brace.
can do it like we did for the food pantry,
Right,
right?
I'm gonna
So
brace
we'll
it
do
properly.
a different grid. Yeah.
I'm gonna brace it
Yeah,
properly.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a mess. But I can get that jacked up. That's not gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm. The Indian runners. Oh my God! I hope I don't have any Indian runner legs in there. Those are funny. Remember that one duck, Evan?
No,
Oh
that thing
my
got
gosh.
eaten, didn't it?
It did. It tried to run so damn hard. It just couldn't get away. That fox, man. But yeah, Evan's like he had to bring it to me because snakes really like Indian runners. What was that one?
I put duck water on some of my plants, and the plants died.
Oh yeah, that would be heavy. I mean, that's more for pond. That's gonna compact the soil and all that to make sure you have no leaks. And I know we're gonna get ducks out. It's gonna be a couple of years before they get all that solidified and all that. But once they get out there, the pond will get a little bit fuller, and that kind of thing.
Are the Pekins the ones that don't make a bunch of noise or make a bunch of noise?
Pekins don't make a lot of noise, I don't think. But Pekins are the best for a restaurant. So Peking, if I want to roast a duck, I would use Peking, right? Because that fat is a little bit better in there. So, yeah, not as. Some people say it's greasy, but that's because they don't know how to cook it. So,
So we're getting stuff going. Getting parts for the skid loader. Finally going to get it fixed. Ended up having to get the lugs.
Chandra, stop it. Delete that comment now. Delete that comment now.
Oh, I saw that one. Big white ducks. None of them are horribly loud until it's spring, and it's Twitter.
Time for breeding season.
So, and then I was working on the four-wheeler. Batteries got expensive. I don't know if you guys have replaced any batteries.
They're high.
Had I not had the Strong Dynamics discount as a wholesaler.
Well, because he works on our stuff, so
Right.
that's why we pay for our parts, and then he comes and works on it, and then we pay him for his labor.
But had I not had that discount, it would have cost $345 for 2 batteries, and those are the cheap ones. Yeah. And I was talking to the guy at O'Reilly's, so I had 2 Napa batteries, and they only lasted 3. They didn't even last 3 years, to be honest with you. So.
But we need to get some kind of lean-to or something out here, maybe a carport, and get that stuff under there. That would help.
Like to get a 40-foot container and then put it.
I was going to tell you about that. I was at Sam's Club. It was today, because you would have thought the whole world was going to end. Sam's. So I got there to go take back my stuff that before it expired, that kind of thing. What we didn't use in the kitchen, I went to go take back, and no electricity. And there was some, and it sucks because right at that intersection, that is really, really bad. The red lights, the stoplights were even out. And so watching city people try to figure out how to go through a stoplight without electricity is just ridiculous. Nobody knew. Like, traffic was standing still because nobody knew if they could turn, who goes next. Blah, 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 blah. I almost wanted to get out of my truck and direct traffic, and I was like, screw it.
Do they not teach that in driver's ed anymore?
Probably not. I guess not. And so I was like, well, screw it. They'll figure it out. I just did me. But it was interesting.
Maybe it's growing up in a country setting.
It could be. I don't know.
Well,
Because everybody gets out and you help each other. But so I was like, I get in there, and I was like, oh, it's awfully dark in here. And then I realized they have no electricity. And I hear the guy at the door, he's like Gossip Central, right? And so he's like, oh, yeah, stoplights are out and this and that. And he's like, oh, well, we have an electrician in here and blah, blah. Anyway. And then all of a sudden, so I'm like, oh, hopefully I can do my return, because I had to pull everything out of the truck. And I go up there and like, can you still do a return? And she's like, yep, we got about 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay. And I wasn't sure what that meant. And so I put everything up there, and I put each date of what I bought for them to return, so she could easily find it, which I never had to do before, but I'm guessing it was because of where the computers were charged and all that, trying to do it fast. And all of a sudden I hear the guy going, yeah, we've got 10 minutes left, so go get what you need to get, and then make sure you get to the register. And I looked at the girl and I said, wait a minute, did I hear that right? You got 10 minutes to shop and check out? And she's like, oh yeah, you heard it right. Why are they still letting people in? And I told her, I said, you guys are going to have carts full of everything from the refrigerator, freezer section, all of that, left in carts at the register because nobody can check out. And she looked at me and she goes, yeah, you're right. And then some girl overheard me. I don't know if she was manager or what. And she said something. And they finally closed the doors because they're like, what a nightmare. All that food's going to go bad. So harvesters for anybody around Topeka should be good next month.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Walmart was also out. And then people were complaining because they announced Walmart was also without electricity. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, that was my next stop. And then, doing that number. And, oh gosh, I don't know. I walked out after the return. I did not get a receipt because of the conditions. But I said, well, I can always look that up online and see if it's there or not. So we're good. But and I said, your computer will store that, right? And she said, yes. So I think we're good. But yeah, craziness.
It's bound to happen.
I'm just saying. I do not. That was a dry run and a quinky dink, I guess, is what you would say. I do not want to be in the city when the grid goes down. Those people are stupid.
No, not all people. Tiger says they know how to drive at stoplights.
Not everybody.
I had a good driver's ed teacher. He was my coach, my football coach, and it was me, the other guy that was the quarterback and captain of the football team with me, and one of the basketball captains were in the class together, and we were all in the same vehicle when we were driving. And they had a car that had the steering wheel on this side and brakes, but there was a brake pedal on the passenger side. And so we go out and we get on the highway, and I was driving, scared the snot out of me because Bear goes, this great big guy, old school 1950s football coach. He's like, I'm going to show you guys how much control I've got. I was doing 50 miles an hour and he slammed on the brakes right in the middle of the highway. Locked up the tires, left like a 100-foot skid mark in the road.
He knew he could do that because you're mom and dad.
No, he did that to everybody.
Did he?
That was Bear.
Military school. You could just kind of do whatever.
And he had long, thin Ginny that he kept in the classroom, and that was a unfolded coat hanger, and that's what he'd whack you with if you were acting up. Yeah, a little bit of child abuse in my childhood, but it was sanctioned.
Saturday was interesting.
Tell them about Saturday.
So Saturday was interesting. So I'm cooking all that. Next thing you know, Scott comes up and he's like, "You're being requested at the stage." And I was like, "Wait, what? For what?" And he said, "You're reminiscing." And I said, "I am not. I'm cooking." And he goes, "No, you need to be up on stage." That's when Darren came in and took over everything. And so I went up there, and it was really good, I guess, that I was surprised by that. You weren't there. Oops. So I ended up taking over.
Hey, guys.
What are you shutting down?
I'm not. It's shutting down on its own.
So are we going to see, are we live here?
Yeah, we're still live.
Okay.
We're still live.
Can they hear us?
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
Okay. So it was really interesting. So we got up there, and he was reminiscing, like, how we all got together, what we did, every step, and that kind of thing. And they wanted you up there. You weren't there. Obviously, the Jeep was a problem, so we had to do all that. And so I went up there, and he wanted to know our story, which he knows our story. Hats, there were a lot of people. They were all in our story because we needed their help. And so I went up there, but man, I didn't realize I had really pushed a lot of that stuff back and trying not to focus on it, just moving forward, and we go from here. But it was kind of good that I had to reminisce about where we were, because now I see how far we were and how far we're going. Ahead we are, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I had to go back to where we were, what we left, and then kind of seeing where we're at and doing all of that. But it was nice. I had a lot of people come up to me and they were like, "That's a beautiful story." And I was like, "Not a story, we lived through it." And they're like, "It was beautiful." And then I had a lot of other people, they were like, "Oh my gosh, we had no idea." And they've known us for years from campouts and that kind of thing. But they just didn't know that that's what we went through. And so very, very interesting how that happened. And I don't know. I mean, brought tears to my eyes, because I had to go back to when you were actually sitting on the couch and we talked about what we needed to do and what the next step was. And you said, sell everything. And so we did that. And then we went back to us getting out of the U-Haul, plugging everything in, and Tag actually asking you, "How did you feel?" And you said, "I feel like a free man." And that's how your free man hats and your t-shirts and all that was G. And Tag ran with it because it was good. And so, it was one of those that's actually a good feeling to have. But yeah, so super, super interesting to do that. I'm not sure I'm ready to do that again for another few years. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, You get tired and all that stuff, and then when I get tired, I get whiny, sensitive. I'm sensitive.
Skeen said she had her tearing up.
A lot of people said Dawn even tears in her eyes and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just trying to figure it out because I did. I all I could see in the back of my head was the system that I knew what I was leaving, what I was supposed to have, and then going for a life done free. Seriously, a life done free, which does not accommodate the system. And so it was a battle inside my body trying to support my husband.
Well, and here's something everybody needs to understand. A life done free is not a destination. It's a journey. You're never gonna be done with that journey. And you know, we kind of came in. I don't want to say we were pioneers. We were on the front end of that wave in our community. Let's just put it that way. So we really did not have with Darren and Patty.
We had choices, but we had to make those choices, and we had to make those choices.
And we made some bad choices.
We made some bad choices, but we also made some good choices.
Right.
But choices, whether bad or good, do not come without consequences, right?
Right.
Wouldn't you say? And so each one has a consequence. Is your battery low? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, so it
Are
is
you
charged.
plugged in there, right?
Yeah, it's charged.
Okay.
It's charged.
So, so it's one of those things. And G and I, we go into much more detail when we're speaking and that kind of thing. But that was tax show. So we just kind of highlighted our story and that kind of thing. But yeah, no, there's a lot more in there. And man, I'm telling you, if you're not on the same page, that's going to break up a marriage real quick.
Well, and I'll tell you what, the cool thing is there are other people that are now on that journey with
the
us.
same thing, yeah.
It's nice to know that we weren't alone. You know, we're not alone.
And the nice part is, I think because of where we are in our journey, there are people now in the community and moving to the community that feel comfortable with their spouse coming in and saying, "This is where I want her."
And
because we've been there.
You're not the only one up there talking. Other people.
No, there were several. Darren did. So Hacks did. Spags did.
So if you guys
Patrick did.
If you guys want to see that
what we're talking about,
I just posted the link. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
They streamed it on Tag's channel.
Mm-hmm.
So go watch it there. It was, how long was it?
It's pretty long, I think. He tried to keep it as short as he could, but there were so many of us that were on the original journey.
It's an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half long. So yeah, go check it out.
How EMP Shield got started.
Yep.
If it wasn't for a campfire and us sitting around there, my dad, for us to invest in that, if it wasn't for my dad, we wouldn't be invested. We would not have done it. And my dad was like, "You're stupid if you don't figure this one out."
I sat down and started writing. Well, it's actually
we're supposed to write a book, and you started it.
Yeah. Well, that's not our journey book though. It's got our journey in it, but it's not about our journey.
Oh, you're gonna do.
Yeah, we're doing. I'm doing one the escaping the system.
Okay.
Which tell them you talked to Nicole about when those videos are going to be available. Yeah,
so they're still on. So if you want to see the talks and escaping the system and that kind of thing, there's other speakers that are so amazing.
From Self-Reliance
Festival. Yeah, Self-Reliance Festival. You've got John Willis. There were so many. Louise Milliman. There's so many that were on there. You can get the digital pass and you can go see everybody now. When the videos are going to be released, they will be released to each creator. So those that spoke. And so when they're released, you will only be able to see ours. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people said that, but I think if you only see ours, you're missing out on so many others.
Right.
And so go get the digital pass and listen to everybody and really kind of see.
Well, and Louise Milliman spoke right before we did.
Oh, and it meshed so well.
And they didn't mean it to. In fact,
we didn't even talk to each other.
The original schedule had us going before her,
mm-hmm.
But they changed it, and it just flowed right in it. What she said.
She was talking on homeschooling and that kind of
thing.
And the side hustle and that kind of thing. So what was that one?
Yeah, gotta run, folks. keep on going. We will make it together regardless. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what.
Great, Randy. Have a good night.
That is what the community is about.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for the community that we had built, there's no way we could have done that move. There's just no damn way.
There's no way we would have made it the last 2.5 years.
There's no joke there. So
I feel like I owe everybody, especially the original people in our community. I owe them such a debt of gratitude, and I don't feel I can repay them.
we don't know how we could ever repay any of them.
Work days aren't enough.
No.
Hey, Gregory.
We missed you guys. I was hoping you were going to come out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand though. You got livestock and all that. So.
Tiger let her little chicks out.
Ours are out.
Yeah.
They're running around. They're such good foragers. I mean, I have to laugh.
Good morning.
One mosquito or something goes in there. Next thing you know, all the leghorns and the blue producers, they're all running for the same thing. And it's like, who can get there faster? It's cracking me up. So, yeah.
But, yeah, so, it was not the best weekend in my opinion, but it was productive.
Well, for our side, though, right? Not festival.
No, I'm talking about it. This is about us. This isn't about the festival.
Yeah.
This is our impressions of the festival. So,
yeah, but guys, we will get the books out there and get all that done because I guess I did not realize how important our story and our journey was until we got other people in the community doing the same thing and figured out, how many people
shut up.
Figured out how many people were going through the same thing and trying to figure out we've had wives that are like, we're done. And I had a husband that way. I'm done. And we were ready to run back to the system. Right? You can be honest about that. We were ready to give it all up.
I was not ready to run back to the system. I was done with this place and doing it this way though.
Yeah. It's hard. But yeah, there's a lot of us out there. So we just gotta support each other. We gotta figure out how to support each other. So Jelly Glenn, you need to quit. So yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So and then this morning, buried baby out in the garden was out there.
We had a very large animal last night.
Yes, something came in and dug. I put him 2.5, 3 feet down, and something dug all the way down to him because I was out by the garden. I'm like, man, something smells funky, and I was like, oh no, and went over there, and sure enough, so I ended up.
Did you check the blueberries and all that?
The blueberries are fine. Okay. So here's if you're going to bury animals out in the country, have old fencing on hand. Old chain link fence or something, dig your hole, put them in the hole, cover them with dirt about a foot, and then take a big chunk of fencing and throw it in the hole. So whenever something starts digging, gets down to that fence, it can't get through it. So that's the way to fix that problem.
And that worked for this morning. Nothing, no problem.
Not today. Well, they opened up Cindy babies too.
Oh no! I only saw one. There could have been more because by the time I saw it go,
we got coyotes and your dogs.
No, this thing was huge. I'm not sure what it was.
Your dogs got into Cindy babies and brought some of her up here. So, yeah,
gross.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's just part of living out in the country.
Yeah. Well, Skanes, we really appreciate that, but man, I don't think we've helped you enough. So,
no.
But it's a coming. We're gonna be making Louisiana trips. I see it.
Well, and here's the deal. One thing we learned is building community and finding a community is not something that just happens.
It does not happen overnight.
You can't just pick up and say, I'm going to join a community because it doesn't work that way. Nope. It takes a lot of groundwork.
There's give and take.
And I've said it before. Building community is kind of like industrialization. So whenever the first wave of industrialization was Britain, 80 years later, it was Germany and France. And 40 years after that, the rest of the European countries started. So these consecutive waves of industrialization came and they got shorter and shorter. The last one happened in Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Cambodia, happened within a generation, like one generation. And what that was this successive waves learned from the ones before it, and it cut their learning curve down. They did not have such a steep learning curve. And that's what I'm figuring out building these communities are like, is communities like ours are out there and we're sharing our message and people are learning from us, because I've talked to several people that have started communities, and they're, for as long as they've been doing it, they are way further along than we were at the same mile marker, which is good. This is all good. This is fantastic. And I think it's going to become really important someday, because one day the system's not going to be there. It's just not going to be available because they've screwed it up so bad. And so we're going to need to help each other.
And Zach wants us to be on his live tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we're going to be on Zach.
Did you find out? Is it on
It's
community?
It's
okay.
the children in the community.
Yeah,
so we're going to be
talking about that.
Yeah, we're going to be on Zach's live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to talk about community and how to protect the children. Mm-hmm. So that should be interesting. I don't even know who's going to be on there.
I don't know either. So, I know we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He's been waiting for that and trying to put that off until we were done with festivals.
Yeah. He wanted to do it last week, and we were like,
we couldn't do it. There was no way.
Let's see here. What they're talking about?
Getting the broccoli and all that stuff in. So.
Did you see you have more driveway asparagus out there?
Yes, I need to go get that. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'll try to get that tonight.
Okay, so we've talked about the week's happenings. It was unusual to say the least, right?
But good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We did figure out Skanes has a new nickname.
Oh, yeah.
She has been blessed.
She has been blessed.
She's getting a new hat. Did you get that ordered?
No, I didn't.
The patch, we got to get that ordered. And so, but yeah, it's funny the way, and not just Skanes, but other people, the ones coming into the community, when we have more time to hang out and really get to know each other, we get to learn about each other, right? And this is what I always said. As you hang out, you figure out what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate. Is this a deal breaker? Is it not a deal breaker? That kind of thing. But more, you're learning what everybody's personality is. And I learned a damn good lesson. What
she doesn't want you to share.
It doesn't matter. Well, I won't say, but you'll have to share it because you're going to be wearing the hat. And really interesting. I learned a lot, especially from two important people that are going to be in my life. I learned a lot. And us girls here, we don't have much privacy, but there's somebody coming in that privacy is everything. Yep. And so I learned that, and I was like, I didn't even mean to overstep, because another person involved is a very good friend of mine. And so I didn't even think I was doing anything wrong. But yeah, he's also a jokester, and cannot be. I told you so. But yeah.
She said you can share her nickname.
Squirrel.
That's her new nickname.
We're getting. She's gonna have to wear that. She's Squirrel from now on. So she just gets so busy, and then something else, some shiny product comes up, or she sees somebody or has to do something, and she'll leave everything. And so my kitchen, anybody who's been in my camping kitchen, do not leave your coffee cup there. Don't do this, don't do that. And Skanes did everything. But not on purpose. It was just like, oh, I need to go to this class, and everything stayed, and she went. And so yeah.
Okay, let's see if this link can post. I don't know if it's too long.
What link is that?
Okay.
What's that too?
So tomorrow, okay, we're off what happened last week. So tomorrow, the Modern Homesteading Conference, School of Traditional Skills, is hosting a free online workshop that will help you preserve your food in half the time by using a freeze dryer. So that link, it's free. It's going to be online sessions at 1, 2, and 3 o'clock. So 1 hour session, 1 hour class. go to that link, sign up for it if you've got time, because anybody that signs up and goes to that class is registered to win a free freeze dryer.
I'm just trying to figure out how you preserve food in half the time with the freeze dryer. Perhaps
Why don't you watch
they
it?
may be looking at pounds, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe they're doing
you
that.
watch it. You watch it. But so there's that. You guys, if you're interested in
Are
freeze
you gonna
dryer,
let me plug in another freeze dryer here?
if you win it,
Really?
I'm not buying one.
Seriously?
Well, if the power can do it. Now, here's
That's
something
the
else.
deal.
Here's something else. So if you feel like doing that, if you get down, please. If you feel like doing that, here's something else. So Harvest Right is having their Mega May sale.
Yes.
All right.
So a Sun Oven.
So is Sun Oven having it too?
Mm-hmm.
So Sun Oven, and you can use our affiliate link.
Yep.
You actually, if the affiliate link for both Harvest Right and Sun Oven are down in the description below.
Mm-hmm.
Go there if you've got the money. Now's the time to invest because they've got good prices on it. They clear out their inventory every 6 months, so they have these great sales, and it's worth giving a look at. Okay, what's the next one? Oh, here's a good story.
Oh wait, can I? So before we get to
Yeah,
stories, so Brian's in here. Brian.
Okay, Brian.
So we learned something. So Brian, you know, it's only been 3 weeks we've been doing the RockPot and all that stuff, and so we figured something out. And credit where credit is due. It was Randy. I was talking to him. We were trying to figure out what
from 20 Crows.
From 20 Crows. So go check their channel out. We were trying to figure out what went wrong because they bought the bundle from me right then and there. She couldn't order it. She couldn't wait. She had to have it right now. And so they ended up doing a pot roast with the potatoes, and some of those potatoes were big.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't chopped up. And so we were trying to figure out what was going on. Well, Randy had made the comment, maybe pulling everything out of the cooler, refrigerator, that kind of thing. Maybe that cooled the stone down so it would not operate correctly. So I sent him a video and I was like, here's what Fred sent me, because I immediately texted Fred. Fred was awesome. He texted me right back. He's the inventor. And so he texted me right back and I said, well, Randy, I said, here's what Fred said. And so we put our heads together. Got it. When you're heating up that stone, if you're doing that on stovetop or coal, whatever, when you're heating up that stone, you want to put the pot with the food, if you're pulling it right out of the cooler, on the stone. So you put that on there. Basically comes to room temperature. Then pull that off, get that up to the 500, 550. Then put that in and put the pot in. Made a difference. Now, I also did that with theirs. So those big potatoes that you get, the whole ones, you want to chop those up.
Yeah.
So it makes sense now, right? But you're thinking that should work like a regular crock pot. So that's
Don't you chop stuff up before you put it in the crock pot?
Not necessarily, because at the store they sell the roast and those big potatoes and carrots and all that stuff. You throw it in, right? So, and they would not cut the potatoes because it's in the store. And because it's in the store, the potato would go brown if you opened it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to go in and chop those potatoes, because Nicole made her potluck dish. She did scalloped potatoes in the rock pot, did great. I did my pork tenderloin with the potatoes, carrots, onions, all that. That did great. And Shelly's, her potatoes did not finish because they were whole. So I think we nailed it. I think we figured it out. So Brian, there you go. A few tips.
Okay. Hope you followed that, Brian. It's a long road to go down sometimes.
It was simple.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I apologize for lying. It's Starlink, and it's probably going to get worse. This is one of the things.
It's supposed to storm.
That's one of the things that concerns me about our internet connection. If war with Russia goes hot.
Did you see the smoke in the air today?
They had on the news. They had a thing this afternoon about brush fires.
Oh, is that what's going on? I figured it was wildfire. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how come I couldn't even see a mile down the road on the
Really?
75 highway. It was weird. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then I took a deep breath and I was like, oh, smoke.
Mm.
So
Maybe I should finally do that in mask video and talk about smoke particle sizes versus the size of the COVID-19 virus and how mass are not.
I thought you were worried about us getting
With
canceled
the
and all
CD.
that.
Well, no, this is
like,
just.
I have to be careful what I say.
No,
but
this
you're
is
gonna
not.
do
This is
videos
not
like that.
misinformation. This is information from the CDC.
My stuff is not misinformation.
Yeah, some of the stuff you say is.
Oh,
It's not misinformation. It's just stuff.
conspiracy theory.
It's
And
stuff-
it comes true in 6 months.
They will.
Kind of the way it works.
Brian says Wichita got hit by Russian hackers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, I'm just going to guess that the whole Walmart and Sam's Club, because nobody else in the area, like Kohl's was fine, restaurants were fine, all of that. I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened to them today. It was probably a hacking. So, and they did. They're going to lose a lot of money, and a lot of food is coming to harvesters.
Hey, Tiger. Click the link down below and then use the Grumpy10 discount code so you can get 10% off. That will help you. This is an interesting.
No,
story.
not 10%. No.
No,
Tiger,
the Grumpy 10 is at 10%.
She said RockPot.
The Grumpy 10 is from RockPot.
Buying one of the RockPots. Yes.
Do you want to see what?
Is that the code? Is Grumpy 10?
Yes. Grumpy
Oh,
10.
okay. So if
Drink.
you do that, well, you said 10% discount. You
Yeah.
did say that.
Yeah,
It's not a 10% discount.
on that purchase. Yeah, it's a one-time code.
If you get the basic, you save $25. If you get the bundle, you save $50. So it's more than 10%. Just saying.
No, if they go to that link, they get that price. If they use
You
the
get
Grumpy
the show
10,
price.
if they do the Grumpy 10, they get an additional 10% off. At least that's what the email says.
Stop with the 10%. It's more than that. You save money.
Not unless if they don't use the code.
If you don't use the code, you don't save money.
Okay, that's
We're both right. We're just misunderstanding each other.
okay. So check this out. This link that I just put up here. This executive hires gun owners as a quote unquote private militia. So there's a county commissioner, actually that they call them county executives in New York, up by the Syracuse area that has put out a call for private gun owners to become special deputies. And basically what they're doing is that they have to meet some criteria, they have to be licensed and do all this other stuff. They have to go through training. And so they're going to use them in times of an emergency to go into high priority areas, churches, schools, hospitals, in order to maintain security in these places. And that link is to who was it? Armed America. Armed America. His take on it. You ought to go watch it because it's interesting, because he tells both the pros and cons about this and where people have had problems in the past doing this. But it's very interesting that this guy in New York decided that the state cannot provide enough security for his people in his locality, and so he's going to private citizens. And they're getting, like, anytime they're activated, they're getting like $150 a day.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe if other places work out the kinks, maybe it's going to start happening. People are going to do it more and more.
You
know, but naturally the leftists are calling it private militias and hired guns and stuff.
Of course.
You know,
Did you find the stories I told you about?
which stories?
Well, we're down to one vehicle, so I needed the vehicle today to run errands, so I picked it up from work, and I told you about what the U.S. reported and what the immigration advocate system reported. And I also told you about San Francisco.
No, I
Did you
didn't
pull
get
those
those.
up?
No, I didn't have a chance.
Okay.
The next thing I want to talk about, I need you guys to give me some solutions to this problem. So the Boy Scouts of America are changing their name to Scouts of America. They're dropping the boys, so it is no longer Boy Scouts. As a former scout and as a former parent of somebody that was in the organization, I honestly don't think I could advocate a young man, a boy, going into that organization anymore.
Anybody that's had Boy Scouts before, and then you always have the Boy Scout camp that would go in Osceola every summer. There were already nightmare situations. Now you're gonna send girls in there. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, see, Rabbit, I'm kind of on the same page as
What do you say?
He thinks it's the death of the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
You know,
Same
but,
as the death of the Girl Scouts. Boys were allowed to attend, and
but
now it's done.
what are the alternatives? Are there any Christian organizations? I know there's Young Pioneers. Is it Young Pioneers? No, not Young Pioneers. Young Pioneers of the Soviets. No, that was their youth.
Aquinas, is that what you're talking about?
No, that's Catholic stuff.
No, Aquinas is Baptist, I think.
But there's got to be, if you guys can come up with some solutions and alternatives, let us know, and we need to, put them down in the comments if you got them.
Why don't we just take our country back?
Let's provide. Well, you've got to provide an alternative until that point. But they did
say no.
They did
no
create
one
a new.
Sentence.
They did create a new patch for the boys to earn. It's called the Surrender to the Woke Mob patch, and so they're going to teach these boys how to surrender to the woke mob.
You're lying about that, right? Exaggeration, like funny, ha. Are you serious?
It's living in the same realm as the jackalope.
Okay.
But I read that and I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, and I don't have a link for this next story. I apologize. Purple tomatoes in the grocery stores. As far as I have found, as I have been able to understand, these are not here in America yet, but in Britain, they are selling these purple tomatoes that are GMO. They are Franken tomatoes. So some plant lab over there took something out of a flower that's purple. I can't remember.
Cherokee purples, probably.
No, they're not Cherokee purples. They are regular tomatoes that are purple. But they spliced in the gene that makes the flower purple into these tomatoes, and they've got added what are they? Antioxidants. Antioxidants. But these are Franken tomatoes, and they're like, oh, they're safe. They're completely safe, even though they've got stuff in it that don't belong in tomatoes. They haven't been tested long term. So if you start seeing stuff like that in the grocery stores here in the States, we know where it came from.
See that? They are being sold in America, the seeds.
Rare Seeds was selling to everyone. Raised holy hell with them until everybody.
Yeah.
So they're pushing it, and that was one of the conversations at camp out on Friday. Was the pokey poke getting stuck into all the meat.
Not just that, but it was really interesting because there was a food truck there, and all that crap came from Cisco. Mm-hmm. And there were so many people walking around. They're like, I feel sick. Well, of course you do. You're eating this food, and it's all processed food. There's chemicals in it. And I didn't say anything. They were great people, so I didn't say anything. And what Skanes and I came up with, we were like, well, maybe it's just a contact virus, right? Because I was in the restroom, and when I was in the restroom, there must have been 5 people that came in, used the restroom, and I didn't hear anybody wash their hands. So there's probably some there's probably some contact virus going on. And so I just had to make sure that I washed really well, did my ABCs, all that, because I was going to the kitchen. But if you're not used to the processed food, of course you're going to be sick. And so.
Well, and then there's probably a little bit of hygiene problems going on there.
That's where we think there was maybe contact virus, but so some of that. But yeah, so it Skanes and I kind of sat down, put our heads together. We were trying to figure out. We're like, okay, so everybody that was sick, right? So
I can tell you right now.
did they eat from our tent? Did they only eat from them? And we could not connect.
I can tell you
either
right
to
now
either.
that it did not come from ours because I ate nothing but our food on Friday and Saturday or Thursday night, and I didn't get sick at all.
My only problem, I was bloated. I know what that was from. That was from drinking at the campfire.
Yeah.
So,
You know, so yeah, and so that the purple tomatoes.
but I also, that being said, I don't think it was that food truck.
No, I don't think it.
No.
No, they were.
They did great. I saw her. His wife went in. We actually had kind of a kitchen sink.
That was the one. That was the big thing. That was a big thing.
That was nice. It was a bonus. We had a place to do our dishes and talking to them. We do a lot, hold our food a lot the same way. In fact, they were looking at a lot of our off-grid stuff, thinking about warmers and that kind of thing. So yeah, but no, so they're good. So if y'all were sick, it was because people weren't washing their hands. They were just walking out the door, just saying. So
okay,
this is why at camp I don't shake hands.
And here's the last one I had. Now this one is interesting. This is a gosh, I'm not even sure how to couch this one. I'll just post it here. So the IDF 2 days ago did an airstrike on a RWA school. That's the UN aid organization that ran UN aid in Gaza.
Oh, dear
they
God.
did an airstrike on this school and killed 15 top terrorists. 7 of them were Hamas, and the other ones were other related things. Killed them in this school. And this is a pattern, and I'll put that, and the link's right there. You can go read it yourself. This is a pattern that we see not only in Israel, but in Africa and any place that the UN is stationed or has a presence. In Africa, they were having child sex slaves. Their peacekeepers had child sex slaves. In Gaza, the UN workers were actually involved in the October 7th attack. In Iraq, there were stories about all kinds of stuff going on with the UN. The UN is not a good organization. These are all verifiable cases. Chances are, if
Americans, your own government is also
if YouTube catches me saying this, they will probably put a disclaimer down below saying what a great thing the UN is. The UN is a corrupt organization. We have people in our own government that want us to sign on to UN treaties that are treaties that override U.S. law, the Small Arms Treaty, the new World Health Organization Treaty. They want us to become subservient to the UN.
Subservient seems to be the word of the day.
Over my dead body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you've read James Wesley Rawls, the very first Patriots book, which was written in the late 90s, the UN was very, very prominent in that book, and they were anti-American. They are anti-American. Worse, the only reason why the United Nations is left in New York City is because that way it gives us some control over it. If we moved it to Brussels or someplace else, we would not have as much control over it. You know, so we need to be aware of that, and we need to make sure that we're getting leaders that do not want to be involved. Okay.
Yeah,
watch the program about jabbing all the cattle in the U.S. Just so they won't get sick. Yeah, they're trying. They have not done it yet. They have not done it yet.
They're trying. Chickens, we've seen it all. Our turkeys need to be vaccinated. Our chickens need to be vaccinated. Everybody needs to be vaccinated. Our dogs and all that.
Well, I'm gonna. You can mark this down on your calendar. But I said this tonight. After the election is over, no matter who is president, I guarantee you by January or February of 2025, there's going to be a new pandemic, and they will be pushing stuff. I don't know if you guys heard, Pfizer, somebody released an internal memo from Pfizer saying that telling Pfizer employees that they would get a different was not the word that was used, a preferred shot over what everybody else was getting. So what the Pfizer employees got was not what the general public got. You know, and then there's more and more things coming out about side effects, and it's becoming harder and harder for people to ignore them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when I put something up for sale and everybody prefers that animals are not vaxxed.
Yeah.
It works out pretty good.
Yeah. You know.
Before everybody would be like going, oh, and then I thought it was really interesting.
Oh, we used to get so much grief because we didn't
vax. And then what was it last week? Right before we went to camp, you're like, just pick up a couple bags, right? That's why I had to take cinnamon rolls up to the co-op because they bagged a bunch of food for me. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. And so, but I went into the store to Farm and Home, and I went in there. The only goat and sheep feed, because we try to be careful. Sheep cannot have copper, that kind of thing, and so. I try to be very, very careful in doing that. The only thing I could find was medicated feed. And I started to walk out, and one of the guys, because they know I'm in there a lot, and one of the guys looked at me and he goes, "Can I help you find something?" And I said, "Not unless you got the old feed you used to have. I just need a couple bags." And he's like, "What are you finding?" And I said, "Well, I'm looking for the goat and sheep feed, and everything's medicated, and you got that DX in there."
No, the only thing that we've ever done, and we still do it every now and then, is the chick feed. That's got the stuff.
Because that's all I can find, and I can usually transfer that.
Well, and it's a different type of medication too. It's not the
right.
Same. It's not the.
I try to do unmedicated always, but lately it's hard to freaking find. But I can. What we need is our own mill. We got to figure out how to get our own feed together. We could do that. We just got to figure it out. What are you saying?
Either they have our best interest at heart, or maybe the culling is starting.
The culling is starting.
I think it's getting too hard for them to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. And so when I walked out of there, he's like, "Yeah, I'm really sorry. You're right. It's got DX in it." And I said, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." And he kind of looked at me and he literally said, "I don't blame you." I said, "I'll head over to Co-op." And that's where the guys hooked me up. It was that Friday. The guys hooked me up. And so that's why I made them cinnamon rolls and put that in, because I should have called a few days earlier to get that done.
Well, and everything that I talked tonight, you know, I try not to black pill everybody, but
there's no black pill in here. It's live.
Well, you know, I'm just the solutions. And you guys hit it. Tiger, we're even looking at growing our own feed.
We're trying that here.
Raising our own, raise your own animals. You know, these are all ways that we defend ourselves against these attacks. Building community. This is how we deal with that. The story about the executive. You know, good or bad, right or wrong, as far as how it turns out, he's turning to the community. And that's what they don't like. That's what the liberals in his area don't like, that he's turning to private citizens. And he's admittedly, he's bringing private citizens into the government, but it's a local government, right? Which I am not adverse to helping the local government.
Speaking of local government, we're supposed to have a commissioners meeting coming up
on the 16th, but they're not.
They're not going to be there. They canceled.
They canceled it.
Yep.
You know.
Gypsy's lovely bride, she actually posted in there because they knew we were coming. So we'll see.
Let's see here. Tiger, I'm so bummed I don't get to hang out with you. Oh, with Rabbit Coyote. Yeah, I'm going to miss it. I hope. Yeah. I don't know.
Rabbit could always come out here. He can camp here same way he can there.
I have to. I don't know if the Impala will make it down to.
I think it will. I was actually going to talk to you about that. If we get that muffler fixed and that sound, I like the Impala. I would drive the Impala. It's easy to get in and out, and I would only take the truck when I need it. Because you were like, it's such a grandma car, but it's kind of like a sports car.
Gregory's got a point. There are bills running through several state legislatures that say if a cow is not vaccinated, doesn't have an ID chip, or you can't sell them. In fact,
not just that, they're doing that here with the goats and sheep too. So you have to, when you go take them to sale barn, you can get 2 different ear tags. So if they go USDA and you pay for that money and do that, they will go ahead and let you, when you purchase them, to go ahead and keep them on so that they can produce and keep going and keep going. If they have no tag or this other tag, if they do that, then those are butcher only.
Mm.
And so yeah, they've been doing that here now for almost a year, I think.
Yeah.
So
And the
yeah.
the ID chips is a federal thing. They're trying to make it so that everybody, the animals are chipped so they can track them if they cross state lines.
Well, and they're coming after the farmers. We have to report. So like every farmer knows, every rancher knows, you you get your livestock. All your livestock is born January 1st, and everybody is butchered on December 31st. Everybody knows that, and so they're trying to break everybody. Is what they're trying to do.
Okay, guys, listen, it's a hour and 20 minutes into this. You guys got anything you want to talk about? Any questions? Anything you want to update people on? I know you guys, more ears are better than ours, right? So if you guys got anything you want to share with everybody, you know what? I think Tamara's got onto something there. Yeah, but we'll talk about anything you want to talk about for the next 10 or so minutes. If not, you got anything you want to talk about?
Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody at Midwest Preparedness Festival that helped me. It was a blessing. All my family came together. Oh, Chief. So Chief helped as well. I got to meet Chief's daughter and son-in-law and the grandbabies. Grandbabies are so stupid cute. Sam came. Got to meet Sam's nephew. He's a stinker. He called Sam out on the floor. He was so funny.
Russell?
Jerky. Yeah, Sam Russell.
So.
And so he called Sam out on the floor. They were totally in control. His sister, Cool Beans. And so, yeah, we had a really good time just meeting everybody, getting to know the extended family and that kind of thing. And
Tiger, the Midwest Preparedness Festival is usually October.
It's in October. I'll get the dates for you. It's actually already posted. So if you go to Facebook, Midwest Preparedness Festival, you can find it, or Midwest Preparedness Project. And then maybe it's Midwest Preparedness Festival.
There's the link right there.
Yeah. And so then Chief and I got to talking. We're getting more peppers from New Mexico. Wildfires are coming up, so Chief's going to have to employ. So he said, do you want me to roast them? Or I said, I can roast them. So I know how to do that. So I'll roast those. He's just going to pull those for me and get them. And then talking to his daughter, she's an RN and EMT. And so she's really into a lot of the natural medicine. She was kind of telling me what she was doing for salves and medicine, that kind of thing. And I said, oh, wait, try this. So we may get together. They're here in Kansas. And we need to get in the kitchen together. So
yeah, Gregor, you're right.
Probably do that.
It's not even the world we grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we were just talking about that at work today. How the kids today will never know some of the stuff that we did. They will never know the joys.
Hopefully, we can get some of this done.
ACM says it's early September in the fall.
I think you're right. Do you have those dates? Adam may be working. That's probably Cindy. If you can post that link, that would be great, ACM.
Go to the link
up above there. Oh,
you
posted it right there.
Yeah, go to the link up above there and check it out yourselves, guys.
So that's right. I think everybody's taking turns.
Right.
The 3 sisters. So, oh man,
that'll be nice because it won't be so cold.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, there's a lot. I was filling him in some of the other garbage coming over the reef, kind of thing. Like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah, but again,
everybody's lost their mind.
Again, community, food independence, and modern self-reliance. That's what we need, and they all build on each other. They're all, none is more important than the other, and they all support each other. They're all complementary. You know, but you have those 3 pillars, and you've got something to stand up and very sturdy.
Man, Tiger said they're coming in September. Thank you,
Awesome.
Masio. So 3rd through the 8th.
Awesome.
We will be. Well, I will. I'll be out there Wednesday night, setting up and doing all that, and then yeah, I'll be there through Sunday. He'll be back and forth.
We missed you guys this weekend.
Oh my God, Carrie, that vodka! Holy smoke!
Oh yeah, I got some.
He ate it all. He went on the carb day.
I didn't eat it all. They were small loaves, and I only ate half.
Baloney.
There were only half a loaf left.
Baloney.
No, there was half of each loaf.
Carrie, that's not true. We were going through withdrawals at camp, and G was coming out.
You told me that they were half. They were.
Yeah, so they
were half loaves.
Yeah, because they're braided. No, they're braided. So you think
they were cut in half.
Because we ate some.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you had a field day. We're all at camp and we're like, "Where's the babka? Oh crap, we forgot the babka because we were trying to get out of here." And then so we said, "Gee, you're coming out. Can you bring the babka?" So he shows up for Bible study. Nothing. And then I said, "Can you remember the babka tomorrow?" He said, "Text me." So we texted him. And he's like,
Yes.
shows up, and I said, "Did you get the babka? Do you have it? Where is it?" And he's like, "No, forgot it." And then Saturday, the Jeep broke down. We got home and all the babkas.
What's with the air quotes? You know that it broke down.
It did break down.
You saw it. You can walk out there and see the hole in the side of the head cover.
I'm just saying, convenience.
It's not like it didn't happen.
No, it did happen, but convenience.
I broke the Jeep. I broke a hole in the cover.
Just so you can have the babka.
I'll tell you what though. Here, speaking of that, trying to stay on the carb thing. We were having a discussion, and somebody told me about grilled cheese, where you literally take the cheese, you put it into the pan with a little bit of oil on it, and you melt the cheese until it gets crispy, and then you put something inside it, you fold it over, and let it cool. You take it off and let it cool, and that cheese becomes crunchy, and it's like a little crunchy.
Did you try it?
Yes.
Did it work?
So I did it. I did the cheese, and then I did deli turkey slices on it, and then I took some of Carrie's jerky spread.
Oh, don't use all that because I have to do more vodka.
I just took a little, and I put the jerky spread in there, and it melted. All the cream melted, and it went all through that. I folded over, let it sit for about a minute. Good Lord, that was good.
Well, it was really fun because when we were sitting here cooking, we're tasting that. Skeins, Jonathan, both of them, they're like, "Oh my God, now I have to go to Carrie's website and I have to order this." Girl, you're making us spend more money. But Jonathan made the bread. I just provided the spread and the materials, so it was all good. But yeah.
Doesn't Taco Bell have a taco that's wrapped in something like that?
I have no idea. I wouldn't go there to eat anything carnivore anyway, but
try grilling cheese with dill pickles. Ooh, that sounds good.
Can't do that on carnivore.
Yeah, I can't do it still.
But yeah, so no, it was all good. You guys make sure, remember ThunderHillFarms.com. Make sure you go there, and that's where you can get all that.
It is well worth the money spent. Mm-hmm. I even on the carb cheat day, I even took a spoonful of the chocolate.
Now I'm going to have to do an audit in my fridge. Carrie, I may be ordering. So holy crap.
Yeah, I needed something sweet, so that's.
Well, the fun thing about it is
she makes like a cream cheese parfait, chocolate parfait type of.
You got the chocolate fluff.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Grilled cheese with anything. Basically, God, it was so good. Well, with the cream cheese and the jerky.
Oh, I told Chief about the bacon roll that I did. I totally should have done a video on that, but I told him about that. Do not let me forget. I have to send him that recipe. He's like, I need that recipe. I told him. I said, yeah. I said, you and Barry both are going to be falling over for it. And he's like, what's it like? And I told him, and he said, oh, that sounds just delicious. And so I got to send it to him. And you got to know, long mustache and that kind of. He's doing, that sounds delicious. So.
Yeah. I used to love Taco Bell. I used to be able to eat Taco Bell.
I did too, but they changed some stuff in there. The oil has changed, like their ingredients have changed. It's It's more like poison. You're sick half the day, so.
The seat Skane says it was.
Yeah, she got to try some. And hers was even leftovers. So, because Jonathan and you were here, I was cooking for you two. Yeah. Did somebody just yell from the front?
No, that was a chicken.
You sure?
That was a chicken.
That's a chicken. That's a chicken. Got weird things coming from outside. Breeding season.
I was told to eat more vegetables, so I had Susie make carrot cake.
Oh my God.
Let's see. They have a metal mold to make taco shells that works with cheese. There you go. All right, guys, we're at an hour and a half at this. Thanks to the 31 people that stuck around. Thank you very much. If you left early, thank you too.
We still appreciate you.
Yes,
we appreciate you all. And you guys are great. And it was fun seeing everybody out there at festival. I had a good time. And you guys are wonderful. Those that just came to the booth to support us, I really appreciate that. Like, we had...
I told Scott and Nikki that they were traders because they were over at the other the food truck, and he said, "Do you have funnel cake?" Okay, point taken.
We will not serve funnel cake.
If we can figure out,
I know how to make it, and I know how I can do it.
If we can do it off grid,
we can, and it's not happening. That's poison. Unless I can figure out a different flour.
Did you just say it's poison?
I did.
Are you not going to the powwow this?
I'm not going to serve funnel cake.
You're going to serve up all the candy and stuff to those poor kids.
I mean, I had candy there too, but I'm not gonna. I don't make it, is what I'm saying. Why are you being that way?
I'm just saying.
So anyway.
It's okay to poison the Indian kids, but not the people at the
campfire. That sounds terrible. Stop it. That's not right. Stop. Oh my gosh. She wants a banana. Maybe we can make a trade, Carrie. So to get her, she's addicted to the banana chips. So nobody knows how to do the bananas to get them as sweet as I do. I do, and it's like super simple, but nobody knows how to do it. And so mine, when you get in there, you can't taste the grain on it. Right. And so, but
all right, start saying bye-bye.
All right, guys. So I'm just going to say tomorrow be at least 1% better than you were today. I think I also want to make sure that you can find one person that you can talk to explore community. And I know you introverts are going to have a hard time doing that. Maybe it starts at going to the cafe and having a cup of coffee with another rancher or neighbor or whatever. So go do that.
Tomorrow, unique prepping. We're going to be on there with Zach talking about how to protect the children with the community. So if you guys be there, got a video coming out Thursday morning. Fancy and I went on a walk. You guys, seriously, if you can find a way to do the things that we're doing where you are, do it to the best of your ability. Reach out if you need a hand. If you run into problems or if things start getting to where you can't handle them, feel free to. You could talk to anybody in our community, not just us. You got Hacks from Homestead, you got Tag and B, you got Nowhere Homesteading. Everybody's open and everybody's here to help you guys. All right. Tomorrow, go out and live a life done free. All right. Take care, guys.